Hey you guys, what's up? I am back with a really exciting video. I know you guys have been seeing me so much because there have been so many new makeup releases coming out that I have been trying out. So in today's video, I'm going to be trying out the ColourPop and Animal Crossing collection. I am so grateful that I got sent this in PR by ColourPop, so a huge thank you to them. So I'm going to be doing like close-ups, swatches of everything in the collection, and then I'm also going to be doing 4 different eye looks for you guys, one using each of the eyeshadow palettes. That is why I have 2 different looks going on right now. And then I'm also going to be doing lip swatches of all of the lip duos that come in this collection. So I hope you guys are all excited about today's video. If you are, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first up we have this True Friends eyeshadow palette set. And this has all 4 eyeshadow palettes in it. And I'm not sure of the pricing on any of this stuff. I tried looking for it and it seems that nobody has posted about the prices, but you can, I'm sure, buy the eyeshadow palettes in this cute little set like this, but then of course you can buy them individually as well. So the first palette is the What a Hoot palette, and this is the more like brown toned palette. Let me show you guys a close-up. All of the palettes seem to have a pressed glitter in them, which I know a lot of people don't like pressed glitters, so I don't know why they decided to do that in all of the palettes. And then we do have like matte shades like this one that have glitter in them, which I also know people don't really like, so just keep that in mind. So let's do some swatches of this palette. So first we have the shade called Meteor Shower. So the pressed glitters are really pretty. They are just kind of a pain to use. Next we have the shade called Celestial. All Aflutter. That one is very, very creamy. And Who. So there's the first palette. These swatched beautifully. Next we have the 5-Star Island palette, which is the pink palette. Here are all of these shades up close. This palette seems to only have one true matte in it. This one is a very glittery type matte, so I'm not sure how I feel about that, but let's go ahead and start swatching the shades. First starting out with the shade Isabel. That is a really pretty, kind of like light champagne yellow. Island Tune. Island Designer. Okay, that is a stunning glitter. And the last shade is called Resident Rep. So here are the first 2 palettes. I do not think I have room on my arm for the next 2, so I'm going to have to take these off and then we will swatch the next 2 palettes. Next we have the Nook INC palette, and this is the green palette. This palette is definitely a lot prettier in real life than the pictures that I saw online. I'm going to swatch the shade Yes Yes first. Made in the shade. That is a very glittery matte. CEO. And Water Landing. That one did not swatch the best, but I'm sure it'll go on the eyes fine. ColourPop shadows usually do. And the last eyeshadow palette is the Labelle of the Ball palette, which is the purple palette. I am actually so excited about this one. Here's a close-up of all of the shades. First, I'm going to swatch the shade called Able Sisters. Such a pretty glitter. Taylor's Ticket. That one like did not show up. I'm gonna add a second layer. Custom Design. And Serene Sable. So here are all of the shades from the last 2 palettes, super pretty. Then we have 2 shades of the Pressed Powder Blush. First up is the Flower Power Blush, and this one is a more like cool toned pink. Sorry about all the glitter on my arm, but there's the first blush shade. Then we have the Flower Tender Blush, and this one is a more peachy pink. For blush swatches, I usually have to build these up a little bit since they are a little bit sheer. I almost forgot there are more eye products in this collection. We do have the Balloon Pop Super Shock Shadow. Here's the outer packaging. And then I do have to say that the shade is also like a lot prettier in real life than the pictures that I saw online. There is also a Glitterly Obsessed eye topper here. The packaging of this is so adorable and it's just a really pretty gold. Here is a close-up of the shade. And then there is its swatch, super pretty. And then the last thing that we have in this collection are these Just a Tint lip duos. There are 3 of them. First we have the Fruit Roots set, and this has the shades Peach Surprise and Orange Cutie. Here is the shade Orange Cutie and Peach Surprise. Next we have the Fruit Basket set, and in this set we have these shades Juicy Apple and Cherry Cherry. Here is Cherry Cherry and Juicy Apple. And then the last set is the Pick of the Bunch lip duo. This one has the shades Coconut Juice and Incomparable. Here is Coconut Juice and Incomparable. So there are all of the lip shades, the other eye products, and then the 2 blush shades. So I went ahead and did my base makeup. Now I'm going to be trying out both of the blush shades. I'm going to do one blush on this side and then the other one on this side, so hopefully I don't look too weird. So I'm first going to go in with the Flower Power blush. This one was the more like cool toned pink blush. Ooh, that's actually really pretty. Great pigmentation. This shade is really pretty and I feel like that went on so easily. So now I'm gonna go in with the Flower Tender blush, which is the more like peachy pink one. So here's the shade once again. This one is also really pretty. They're not patchy or anything. They go on really nice and smooth. I think that I prefer the more like peachy blush just because that's normally the kind of blush that I would wear, but they are both really pretty. Like I would definitely wear both of these. So now it's time for the fun part. I'm going to be trying out all 4 of the eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to be doing 4 different looks, one with each of the palettes. I haven't seen anyone do that yet, so I kind of want to show you guys like what you can create with each individual palette. I don't really want to mix and match because maybe you're not going to buy all 4 palettes and you just want to see a look with just like one of the palettes. So the first thing that I do is prep my lids, of course, with my P. Louise base. You guys know I say this in every video. This is always the eyeshadow base that I use, so I'm just going to blend this out really quickly. So we're going to start with the most basic palette, which is the What a Hoot palette. And this is the kind of like everyday brown palette. And I'm first going to take this light shade right here, which of course is one of those like mattes with glitter in it. I wish they would just do like regular matte shades. I do not understand the mattes with glitter in them. Like you can blend them out and you like don't see the glitter, but I just don't get it. Like what's the point of putting the glitter in these shades? Like I don't understand. So I'm just going to kind of like diffuse this all throughout the crease. This is actually a really nice transition shade. I'm kind of worried though because the other matte shade in the palette is so dark. Like there's such a difference between the 2 shades, so hopefully I can get these to blend together. I am also going to blend this along the lower lash line, kind of connecting it to the outer corner area. Okay, so I'm like looking at this up close and surprisingly I can't see the glitter, which normally I can see the glitter when I use their shades like this. But this time, I actually don't see the glitter, so that is good. So now I'm going to take the shade called Who, which is the deep brown, and I'm like kind of nervous about this because it's so dark. I'm going to just lightly, oh boy, I think I might need a smaller brush. And I'm just going to kind of tap on the outer corner. I feel like these are going to be hard to blend into each other. I wish they didn't do such a dark brown. I feel like a medium brown would have been better. I'm also going to press the shade right up against the lower lash line. I want to keep this one higher than that kind of like orangey shade. So I went ahead and just kind of lightly added some concealer to my lid, nothing like too precise. Now I'm going to go in with the pressed glitter in the palette, and I'm just going to start by tapping this on the inner part of my lid. This shade is really pretty actually, but it's gonna be such a pain to get off. I already know it. So now I'm gonna take the last shade in the palette, which is this kind of like coppery metallic shade, more like a coppery bronze. I'm not really sure what to call this shade. And I'm just gonna kind of start like on the outer part of the lid space that I cut off with concealer, and then I'm gonna kind of mix it with the glitter shade here in a second. I don't want to go too far in with the shade because it's pretty dark. So now I'm just going to take more of the glitter and kind of blend this back on top of that metallic shade so they blend together. So here is the first eye complete. I feel like it turned out better than I was imagining it to because I wasn't really sure about this palette. I do really like the look, actually. I just wish that the dark brown in this palette was not so dark, because it is kind of hard to blend these two shades together in the crease unless you like really mix them well. But I am pretty happy with how the look turned out, and I do think that the glitter is stunning. So now we're going to move over into the pink palette. This is the 5-Star Island palette, and this palette might be a little bit tricky because this kind of matte shade has so much glitter in it. But yeah, we're going to first start out with the true matte in this palette right here, and I'm just going to kind of like tap this all over the lid into the crease, and then I'm going to start blending. This is a really pretty pink. So once again, I like to kind of like tap it in the crease to like deposit the color, and then I will start doing like windshield wiper motions and kind of swirling to blend out the edges. I actually love this pink shade. Such a pretty shade. Also going to blend this one along the lower lash line as well. So I'm kind of nervous about it, but I'm going to pick up this shade next. Hopefully this glitter doesn't ruin the look. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to kind of put this on the outer corner and then blend into the crease. The shade is pretty. I just wish there was not glitter in it. Also going to add this to the lower lash line, connecting in the outer corner and keeping the shade closer to the lash line. Surprisingly, I like the way that it looks. The glitter did blend away nicely. I just honestly am not understanding like what the point of putting the glitter in the shade is, since it does blend away. I don't know. I wish they would just leave the glitters out, but that is a really pretty shade. So now I'm going to take this metallic yellow and I'm going to put this in the inner corner and kind of blend this like towards the lower lash line and up onto the lid a little bit. Now I'm going to pick up the glitter from the palette, and I'm not going to do any kind of concealer or anything. I'm just going to start applying this to the lid. Gonna have to kind of like blend the yellow back towards this glitter, but as you guys can see, like the ColourPop pressed glitters are very like opaque. Like you don't really need to put anything under them. Like on this eye, obviously I didn't put any concealer down or anything, and the glitter is like super opaque. Such a pretty shade, but I know this is going to be such a pain to get off. I'm going to kind of blend the glitter in with the outer corner right here. All right, you guys, so here are the first two eyeshadow looks. I am pleasantly surprised with how these turned out. The glitter in the pink palette is a lot more like small, finely milled glitter than in the kind of like brown palette. This one's a little bit of a chunkier glitter, and I think I prefer the like formula of this one better, but I like how this one looks. So yeah, these are the first two eye looks. Now I'm going to go ahead and take these off, and then we're going to try out the green and then the purple palette. Wish me luck taking off these glitters, because I know this is about to be a mess. So hopefully my makeup isn't completely ruined whenever I come back. Okay, and we're back. That was not too bad. I tried out the like tape removal technique where you put tape on your lid to get glitter off, and that was like a lifesaver. I don't know why I've never done that in the past, but now we're gonna go ahead and try out the last two palettes. I think I'm gonna go in with the purple one first. So this one is the Labelle of the Ball palette, and I'm gonna take the light lavender shade. I'm just gonna use the same technique that I did with the last two palettes, because I don't know, there's only like two mattes in each of these palettes, so I feel like there's not like so much you can really do with the palettes. So I'm just gonna keep it simple and really test out the formula for you guys. So this shade is actually like so pretty. I love this light purple. I am noticing that with this shade, the glitter is not blending away as much as it did with some of the other mattes with glitter in it. Like I can see the glitter on this shade. It is a really pretty shade. I just wish there was not glitter in it. I know I've said that so many times, but I just don't get it. Once again, I'm gonna run this along the lower lash line. This shade is getting glitter everywhere. Like I feel like the glitter is just like popping out of the shade, and it's like all underneath my eye, on my face. So now I'm gonna take the dark purple, and once again, just packing this on the outer corner, and then I'm going to lightly blend into the crease. I'm also going to press this against the lower lash line. So I think for these last two looks, I'm going to kind of cut my crease with concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. So now I'm going to apply this beautiful lavender glitter right here in the inner corner. I think I'm going to put this glitter probably on most of the lid because it is stunning. Now I'm going to take the metallic shade from the palette and I'm going to go ahead and apply this like on the outer part of the lid once again, and then I'm going to meet the two shades in the middle. The shade's really cool. It's like a duochrome type shade. Very pretty. I said I was gonna put glitter all over my lid, but now I'm like putting the duochrome everywhere because it's so pretty. I actually love this shade. A lot more than I thought I was going to. Gonna blend more of the glitter up onto the lid. So here is the purple eye complete. I went ahead and added a lash just because I felt like with the fun, colorful palettes that we could use lashes to make them look a little bit more dramatic. So now I'm gonna go in with the last palette, which is the green palette. This is the Nook INC palette. So I'm gonna pick up the light, kind of like turquoise teal shade right here. And on like a small blending brush, I'm gonna pat this into the crease. Once again, I'm just gonna keep the same technique just to make this easy since we only have two crease shades pretty much. And then I'm gonna blend upwards. I just grabbed a little bit bigger of a blending brush as well. And I'm gonna start blending a little higher. I feel like the last brush was just a little bit too small for this. So now I'm going to take the shade right here called Water Landing, and I'm just going to press this on the outer corner. This is such a pretty shade. Oh, I forgot my lower lash line. Whoops. We'll do that at the end. And then I'm going to kind of blend very tightly in the crease with this shade. I feel like this eye is going to take a lot of blending for sure. So I wish the first shade was a little bit lighter. I'm gonna add both of those shades to the lower lash line, first starting with the lighter shade. And then I'm gonna add the darker shade, kind of with more like patting motions. So I went ahead and cut the crease off camera. I'm gonna apply the shade Yes, Yes all over the lid. This shade is gorgeous. Such a stunning shade. Now I'm gonna add the glitter over top. I think the green palette might be my favorite. I was not expecting this at all. Like these lid shades, so good. All right, you guys, so here are these two looks complete. I'm obsessed with the green eye. I can't believe that that's my favorite, but I just love the lid shade so much. So now that you guys have seen all of the palettes in action, I'm gonna rank all of these at the end and tell you guys which ones I think are the best, like in order from best to worst. Not that any of them were bad, but now we're gonna go in with all of the different lip tint duos. I'm gonna be showing you guys lip swatches of all of the shades. So first we're gonna try out the Fruit Root set. First we have the shade Peach Surprise. So here is this shade. The ColourPop Just a Tint lip crayons are honestly one of my favorite lip products. I wear these all the time. I literally have like every shade that they've ever made, and I'm so excited to have these. This shade is super pretty, a really nice peachy shade for every day. Next we have the shade called Orange Cutie. I love this shade. I like this one a little bit more than the last shade. And you know what I'm noticing about these is that the tip of the crayon is like a lot more precise than on the old ones. I feel like they made the tip sharper, which I love because it makes it so much easier to apply. Now we're gonna swatch the Fruit Basket set. First we have Juicy Apple. Oh my gosh. This one smells so good. They actually smell different. I feel like all their other lip tints like all smell the same. These smell different. Ooh, this shade is so pretty. I love how easy these are to apply. This shade is so pretty. So here is this one. And now we're gonna swatch Cherry Cherry, which is the other shade in this set. Okay, do these all smell like each individual fruit flavor? This one smells like cherry. These smell so good. I really like the scent of like this set compared to the more like peach and orange scent, just because I'm not really that big into like peach and orange, but this set smells so good. So here's the shade Cherry Cherry. I love this one as well. I'm sure I'm going to love all of the Just a Tint lip crayons because these are like my favorite. I feel like all of the shades are going to look good on like everyone. I feel like all of these just look so good and they make your lips look very like moisturized and they are so comfortable on the lips. So yeah, here's this one. And now we're going to swatch the last set, which is the Pick of the Bunch set. So first we have the shade called Coconut Juice. Oh my gosh. This one smells so good. I knew I was gonna love this shade. Such a pretty shade. So here is this shade. This is the deepest shade out of all of the sets, and it is gorgeous. This is probably one of my favorite shades that come in all of the lip sets. It's so pretty. And now we have the last shade called Incomparable. Okay, this is one of the best smelling ones for sure. So here is the last lip shade. Such a pretty shade. A perfect kind of like beigey peach nude for every day. I really like this one a lot. So that is everything in the ColourPop and Animal Crossing collection. Honestly, I am like really impressed. As I said in this video and in my like new makeup video where I was talking about new makeup releases, I was not gonna buy this collection, but I'm so glad that I got sent this in PR because honestly, it's a lot better than I was expecting. Like when I just saw like the eyeshadow palettes on like Trend Mood, I was like, they look okay. Like I wasn't like super into it. I don't play Animal Crossing, but I do think this collection is great for those of you guys who do and you're really like into this. The packaging is adorable. I really liked the palette, the blushes. I really liked everything, to be honest. The only things that I didn't try out were the Super Shock Shadow and then the Glitterly Obsessed. That is so hard to say. I always struggle saying that. But everything that I tried was really good. I think my favorite things are probably the lip crayons because I'm like obsessed with these and I love all of the different scents. Let's go ahead and rank each of the products, like which ones I think are the best. If you guys just want to get like one or two things from the collection, I would suggest getting like one of the palettes and then one of the lip duos. The blushes are not really like anything special, so those wouldn't be like on the top of my list if you only want to get a few things. If you guys just want to get the eyeshadow palettes, definitely try and get them in the bundle because I'm sure it'll be a good deal like that. Okay, so now let's talk about each individual product kind of ranked, like as far as like blushes, eyeshadows, and then lip duos. So out of the two blush shades, I would say that the more peachy blush is better. I personally like a more peachy blush, and I feel like this one will flatter more skin tones than the more cool toned pink. Now let's go ahead and rank the eyeshadow palettes, if I can even find them. Oh, they're like all hidden. Okay, so these actually surprised me because the palettes that I thought I would like the most ended up being towards like the bottom of my list, but that doesn't mean that I don't like them. So my least favorite probably out of all of them is the brown palette. I just wish that the dark brown wasn't so dark because it is kind of hard to blend those two shades together, but I really like the two like lid shades in here. The glitter shade and then the metallic are really pretty. This is a really nice palette. Like I don't not like it, but it's just at the bottom of my list personally. And then the next two are really hard for me to kind of rank because I really like both of these, the pink and then the purple. If I had to put these in an order, I'd probably put the pink next just because I have so many pink palettes and I don't feel like this one is really anything special. I do really like the yellow shade in here, and then the glitter shade in here is really pretty. I wish that this shade did not have so much glitter in it because I feel like it could be a really nice shade without the glitter. And then next would probably be the purple palette. I thought that this would be the palette that I like the most, but surprisingly it came in second. My issue with this palette is that this lavender shade has so much glitter, and when you try and blend it, it kind of like goes everywhere, but the shades in here are gorgeous. I really like the duochrome in this palette. It's really pretty, and so is the glitter in this one. And then my favorite palette, which is not the one that I thought I would like the most, is the Nook palette, which is the green one. I really enjoyed this palette. I love the lid shades. I feel like those are like so pretty. They really make this palette for me. And then this deep matte shade in here is such a pretty shade. So yeah, this one is by far my favorite, and I cannot believe that that is my favorite palette. And then I really enjoyed all three of the lip duos, but if I had to put them in an order, probably coming in at number 3 would be the more like peachy set. And that's only because I have so many of the Just a Tint lip crayons and most of mine are like peachy shades, but this is a really good set if you're looking for very natural looking shades for every day. And then the one that would probably come in second is the Fruit Basket one, which is the red and like kind of pink shades. I really enjoyed those a lot, and I do not have that many Just a Tints that are like those type of shades. And then my favorite would have to be the Pick of the Bunch one, which is the kind of like, I don't know what to call these, like beigey, darker nudes, and I really enjoyed those a lot. And I also don't have any Just a Tint lip crayons that look like these, so yeah, I really enjoyed all of the lip sets. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this collection in the comments down below. Are you guys going to pick anything up? I'm going to try and put as much information as I can possible in my description box. I will try and find prices for you guys. If the prices are not out, I'll just update it later on when they do come out. And I will also put when this collection launches in my description box below as well, so make sure to check that out. And then of course I'll have all of these linked when they do become available, but I have a feeling these are going to sell out pretty quick, but I will try and link them for you guys. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Also make sure you guys turn on your notifications, that way you don't miss out on any of my future videos. All you have to do is click the bell next to the subscribe button, and then you'll receive a notification every time I upload a new video. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.